What up, brothers? It's Clipper King returning for a new review to my channel, a long awaited one. I thought this figure had passed me by on release, but just goes to show, if you join these Facebook trading groups, you wait, bide your time, do some good deals and good things can happen. So I'll tell you about how I got the figure. I'll be reviewing it up, scoring it up, telling me thoughts, probably compare it to the Mark IV and the Mark VII, and yeah, get some scores on the doors. I'll start off by saying a massive thanks to Darren, I think it's Arity, could be pronouncing that wrong, for the trade we did a couple of weeks ago. I swapped him a customised DX12 Batman and he exchanged, gave me this. So massive respect to him. I will also say that that is a custom Tony Stark Ed. I got it, if you remember, I saw it at London at the comic convention and I bought it off Matt at Toy HQ. I'm not sure if they're still in stock because that's going back a few months, but it's worth sending Matt a message through Facebook or directly, because I think it is the best Tony Stark Ed sculpt out there, even better than the Mark IV one, because I prefer the air on this. So like I said, that don't come with this figure, but I'm going to leave it on probably just for this pose. So yeah. Just to elaborate what happened with the trade, I got a third Batman, bought from Shay Walker, again through the trading group, got it, customised it, kept the parts off it that he had that I wanted, and then made it a stock Batman, and then customised it how I like my Batman to be. I advertised it on the trading groups for £200 plus shipping. I had a few people pop up and say, "You're hoping," sort of thing, and I thought, that sort of thing pisses me off. That's one of the downsides to the trading groups. You get little fucking assholes popping up, having the say, saying what they think things are worth, and you'll be lucky this and blah blah blah. And then I wanted a little bit extra for it if I were going to customise it. Anyway, Darren, like I said, popped up. "Would you take a trade?" I says, "Yeah, what have you got?" He says, "Well, basically, what do you want?" I said, "Well, the only figure I'd go mad for is a Mark VI Iron Man." He was like, "Well, I've got one of them in good condition, still boxed, it's not hardly been out of box, can I send you some pictures, would you be interested?" I like saying, "Well, what are we going to do trade wise, is it a straight swap?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'd be happy to do that." And that's what we did. I will say as well, because I've got to be honest, when the figure came, it had got a little bit of pink pants syndrome, but not massively. I've seen some that have faded down really light to a really light pink. This weren't that bad. It just got a little bit of... What happens, basically, to cut a long story short, is the rubber girdle sort of thing that's here that makes it articulate better. It's painted same colour as this, but then it's got a silver undercoat and then it's down to a red rubber material. And what happens is over time the top cover and undercoat sort of fade into each other and gain its pink appearance. It washes out, sort of thing. Anyway, when I got it, I looked at it and it weren't that bad, but it was a case that I looked around on YouTube and on the forums, is there anything I can do about it? And basically, all you do is pop, or all I did, and like I said, I don't think it suffers from the pink pants now, all I did, pop the legs, both legs are on a ball joint, pop them off. This rubber girdle, it's sort of only glued underneath here. Peel it off the body by sort of ripping the glue. Get some paint thinner and rub it down. Rub the top coat off, the undercoat off, and it'll go down to its material colour, which is like a really dull looking red, which is what I did. Rubbed it all the way down to that, and then with a glossy top coat, just sprayed it again, and it gives it that wet look. So now it can't fade again, although it's not how it came out of the factory, sort of thing. So anybody with the pink pants syndrome, if you don't know how to do it, just leave me a message and I'll talk you through it again. But that's basically all you do. You get some paint thinner, clean it all down, clean the top coat off, the undercoat off, which is silver, down to the dull rubber underneath, which is red, and then spray it with high gloss top coat and let it dry. So like it looks glossy, but it don't look as metallic as that, but it does look glossy and it's quite a nice match, as you can see. So that's what happened. So I'm like 5 minutes in, I haven't even scored the figure up. But that's basically what happened. So massive shout out to Darren Arity. I said I'd give him a shout. I hope I'm pronouncing his surname correctly. Respect to him. I understand he got his Batman safely and he does love it, and I love this, so respect. Right, we'll roll straight onto source material. Oh, before I do, I will say, you'll notice that this review now will be cut down into probably 2 or 3 parts, simply because I think my view times are going up to like sort of half an hour, 45 minutes, nearly an hour on some videos, and I think that people are still watching them, but I think it's affecting people viewing them again, sort of thing, multiple views, because I don't think somebody's going to sit through the same video twice if it's an hour long. So I'm going to break them into parts, watch the parts you want, avoid the parts you don't want, and they will be like bite-sized chunks. I did this before and some people didn't like them, some people did, but I'm just going to go back and just see what effect it has sort of on if the views go quicker or what the total views goes up to, and so on and so forth. I know the videos are not going to get massive views because they're not brand new figures, but I'm finding that my videos are shooting up to like 500, 600 views, and then they sort of teeter around there and then slowly climb up to 1,000, which never happened before. They'd always shoot straight past 1,000, and I can't really understand why they're not. But it might just be that you think they're shit, it might be that they're too long, I don't know, but I need to find that out. So anyway, I'm 6 minutes in, I haven't even done the source material. I will say, when I do a review, I normally go back and watch the film again, just to sort of refresh my mind, sort of thing, not say something that don't make any sense, or so on and so forth. I don't go too in depth as far as the film's concerned anyway, but I have been watching this again on Blu-ray recently. What I do is I slip it in at night, and then that sounds a bit fucking wrong, I slip it into our last at night, and then I slip it into Blu-ray player, and I sort of catch up on it. And I've been watching this, like I say, and I've got to say, the more I watch it, the more I like it. When I initially watched Iron Man Mark II, I thought, oh, it's shit compared to the first one. It's not that good. I think the more I watch it, I realise it probably is on a par with first one, although I do like the origin story in the first one. But I prefer both to Iron Man 3. So I will score it and say I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5, which I generally give the superhero films anyway. I don't think any of them are all-time classics, but they are enjoyable watches. So like I say, and again, fucking, I can't ever imagine anybody playing Iron Man now apart from Robert Downey Jr., so the source material is really good because of him as well. So I will just say on the pose, I've got it with all the battle damage pieces on, and obviously his helmet in hand. Just like he's come out in a battle, he's took his helmet off, he's just fucking chilling, posed up. I will try and get some more extreme poses, and I will try and show you him fully armed up and everything, show you what the figure does and how you can swap it out and so on and so forth. But just to end the source material, like I said, I've given it a 4 out of 5. Rolling on to packaging. Just show it you. Nice cover. It's the sort of the reflective cover that all the Iron Man Mark II figures had. Really reflective, sort of in the eyes, as you can see, and on the arc reactor on the chest. Moving down the wording there. I will say as well, because I am always honest, get a little crease there, and then a little bit of folded up on the top. But like I said, it's not a brand new figure, it's from a trade. And I'm not a fucking arsehole. I'll never say, I'm not trading with you for that. He's fucking this, that, and other. You realise this figure might be a couple of years old. It's been on a shelf, or it's been fucking in and out of the box. So you've got to sort of let certain things slide. So I'm not going to rip nobody for that. But that's just how the figure come. I will say as well, I remember when these boxes came out, the Mark II Iron Mans, and you could sort of put them all in a row and they'd all sort of attach to the next one, sort of thing. The picture would carry on, were an idea I really liked, and I was sort of going to score this along them lines. What I will say is, and I don't know why it is, but this box is sort of dimmed down. It's like it's, I don't know, like got a smoked effect on it, and I don't know if that's age, what's done it, or why it is, but it just doesn't seem to pop like it used to. It probably will look like it is doing on the camera, because obviously I've got the camera light bouncing off it, so it will look like it. But in hand, it's got like a really smoked finish, and I don't know if that's what the box has done over time. But anyway, the image sort of wraps around, but not a lot. Then on the back, just show you with the air brakes out, some nice artwork. It is the figure. and then sort of posed in all the battle damage stuff. So sort of standard for the boxes of that time. Then inside, obviously, you've got the plastic clam trays, about 3 layers deep, I think, because it houses the base and then the battle damage parts and then the figure at top. So yeah, works really well. But on the sort of the packaging, the sort of look of the packaging, I'd only give a slipcover a 3 anyway. And like I said, this one's, it's not mint condition, but like I said, I sort of forgive that because I know the figure's pre-owned. So, but sort of because it's sort of got this faded appearance to it, I am going to mark it down 1 and give it only a 2 out of 5, which might be a little tight. And like I say, it probably looks better on camera than it looks in hand, because obviously I don't walk around with a fucking a light on my forehead shining against stuff, so it does look really dull in hand. I don't know why, but that pretty much explains it. So I've given the box a 2 out of 5. I'll just show you the pose I've gone to behind. Sort of, like I said, it does come with the diorama style base. I've just got him basically as if he's leaping over the drone what him and War Machine shot down. So I just moved the pose on from the just stood up, and just to show you that it has got the battle damage pieces on. And like I said, I will show you a comparison from it looking clean to looking totally damaged as well, because this is one of these sort of selling parts of this figure. You pretty much either went for this with a battle damage, or you went for the Mark IV with a sleeker design and the Tony Stark head sculpt. Like I said, that's at the time why I picked the Mark IV, but I always sort of regretted not getting the Mark VI as well, but obviously now I've got it in hand. So yeah. And I will say as well that this head that's in is the Tony Stark one, and I will be covering that, only that head sculpt, when I do the likeness. I will also say it has got the shoulder pods out, which are like a missile unit, and they do sort of fold back down into his shoulder, which would be a fucking nightmare to try and do. Fucking Clipper King does not fuck around. I could do with my little poking device, but basically that goes like that, and then the shoulder pushes back over it. Not because I've got it posed, it won't close right, but that's basically how it happens. So really nice mechanics, or really nice touch. It's like an hidden part. It does look good. We'll turn it around as well. I'll cover more of this when I do the suit, and obviously you can see the flaps, and I've got it on the translucent pole. So I just wanted to show you a second pose, because I might put a cut in now and then move into part 2.